Welcome to the top 24 stories of 2024 from Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily television news available on demand and on your favorite streaming channels.
We are proud to announce that YouTube has recognized Queer News Tonight, certified by analytics company VetIQ, as the world's most popular LGBTQ streaming news show with more than 10 million views on the only daily live queer news show in the world.
This is the most popular and subscribed to LGBTQ brand in Florida and one of the top in the world. It is Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. Happy New Year. We are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell on Queer News Tonight.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ evening news show. Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ community.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
I'm your lead anchor, FayWhat, and I'm joined tonight by anchors Gregg Shapiro, Bonnie Builder, and Glen Weinzimer. This is a special broadcast of Queer News Tonight.
2024 has been one of the most dramatic for the LGBTQ community in history. So many stories Queer News Tonight has brought to you in 2024.
Combined, Hotspots Happening Out has brought you more than 2,500 stories about and for our LGBTQ community. We don't know what 2025 will bring. There is a fear of the transfer of power on January 20th, so we thought we would finish our year by looking back. Of those 2,500 stories, let's look at the top 24 stories of 2024, baby.
This curated list is drawn from Queer News Tonight, The FayWhat Show, Queer God Squad, and Hotspots Magazine. This was what was important to all of us in 24 of 2024.
And now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story of 2024. I am obviously Bonnie Builder, and let's crib the top stories of the year. This is number 3 of 24. After the death of Pope Francis, will the Catholic Church make a hard right? This story was broadcast on March 7th on Queer God Squad. Amid Pope Francis's health concerns earlier this year, questions arose about the Catholic Church's future, especially LGBTQ inclusion. Critics, particularly conservatives, opposed his decisions to remove figures like Cardinal Burke and promote inclusivity. As Francis continues advocating for compassion, the queer community wonders if these progressive changes will survive a future Pope's tenure. Let's find out.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. After the death of Pope Francis, will the Catholic Church make a hard right? Amidst concerns over the health of Pope Francis, questions arise regarding the future direction of the Catholic Church, particularly in relation to LGBTQ+ inclusion and conservative backlash. At almost 87 years of age, Pope Francis has battled various health issues, including recent hospitalizations for abdominal and respiratory conditions. His tenure has been marked by efforts to make the church more inclusive and compassionate, evoking both praise and criticism. Conservative groups are upset with the Pope due to certain decisions like the removal of Cardinal Raymond Burke from his Vatican home and halting his salary. This happened because he opposed including LGBTQ+ people and women more fully in the church. In a recent defense of his decision to allow priests to bless same-sex couples, Pope Francis condemned hypocrisy within the church, asserting that love and compassion should transcend judgment. Francis has been steadfast in promoting inclusivity and hopes that critics will eventually understand and accept these changes. Amidst this ideological divide, Queer God Squad wonders about the direction of the Catholic Church once the Pope is no longer around. particularly concerning LGBTQ plus rights. Some queer-friendly churches in America, like Sunshine Cathedral of Fort Lauderdale, are contributing towards a better, more inclusive and accepting environment for everyone. But will this be enough? Some have suggested that, like Barack Obama becoming the first black U.S. president and the backlash we witnessed in America in 2016, we will experience a fundamental backlash and move to the hard right when a new pope is selected.
I didn't grow up Catholic. I don't have a whole lot to say on this. I don't think too highly of anybody who participates at that level, such as the Pope. I respect Sunshine Cathedral, obviously, love them to death. Oh, I shouldn't say death. I love you, Sunshine Cathedral. But to this specific subject matter, I don't see a whole lot of hope in it. I hear that Pope was the most open-minded thus far, which is sad to say, because I feel like the Catholic faith has been around for a very long time. Mm-hmm. So to get to 2024 and be like, now we got one, those aren't great numbers. How y'all feel?
You know, I wasn't raised Catholic either. I did like Catholic schoolgirls, but not the point. You know, my wife was, and she still has PTSD from it, right? When it comes to religion, there is no bigger than Catholicism and how it reigns supreme here in the United States and in a lot of other countries. Pope Francis is the first to really even acknowledge that we exist, right? And say the word transgender, right? He was also found to be having meetings in the back where he would call, you know, he would call us faggots, right, in Italian. So I mean, let's be real, right? We're being okay we're given crumbs, and we're like, oh, let's be happy that the Catholic Church is finally seeing us for who we are. You know, F that. I'm sorry. You know, we shouldn't be happy with just crumbs. We deserve a full meal. You know, the hypocrisy is so huge. You won't include us, but you will hide priests who are abusing little kids, right? I mean, you know, I can't with that. You know, Pope Francis has definitely acknowledged us more. What will happen if the gentleman passes away? Yes, they're going to go back to being right, and even going more far right with people like Trump at the helm of this country. That is what I'm expecting.
And that's what's going to happen. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just like, if Opus Dei followers such as Kevin Roberts of the Heritage Foundation are any indication, you don't need a magic 8-ball to tell you that signs point to yes. It's going to be bad.
Right, and we just have an uncertain world that we're living in right now. And if you look at Italy, and they've elected a fascist, and the rest of the world, and where we're headed, and all the gains we make, you know, it's that whole pendulum thing. We've swung to one degree, and now we're swinging so far back that hopefully we'll find a middle ground at some point. But I think we're going to live through some tough times right now, as there's this adjustment, you know, by the conservative community that wants to see us go back to a more conservative for women's rights, for everything else, and gay rights.
Yeah.
So, you know, buckle up.
You know, I loved seeing Reverend Kevin Tisdale give this story on Queer God Squad, because he's just such an amazing human being. And, you know, let me remind our viewers that folks nearby, if you want to go to church, it's not all not inclusive. They're very inclusive here at Sunshine Cathedral, where our studios are based. In Miami, there's Unity on the Bay. There are many, 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 many religious churches that are non-denominational, that are all inclusive. It's not, you know, I grew up seeing that sign outside churches that said all are welcomed, and then once walking in knowing that wasn't true, right? That's not the case when it comes to Sunshine Cathedral. So if you're being called to find some kind of organized religion, that would be the best way to go. Right. Yeah. And it's a great way to start the new year. I mean, you know, like my resolution for the new year, right? You guys should know, is that I'm not going to curse anymore.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hello, we're talking about church. You're not supposed to be cursing. So,
well, we're not in church. Okay. We're next door to the church.
We're at church adjacent, but we're still church adjacent, you know? So for the new year, if you want to find a religion, or you want to find fellowship, Sunshine Cathedral is definitely the way to go. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm still not going to curse. That's my new thing for 2025.
I'm gonna.
Okay, new
I'll
improved FayWhat. No cursing.
All right.
So we are bringing you a special presentation of the 24 biggest stories of the year, and we call it Top 24 of 2024. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story of 2024. I'm Gregg Shapiro, and let's queer up the top stories of the year. This is number 2 of 2024. Don't ever heckle Bob the drag queen dressed like that. This story was broadcast on July 5th on the FayWhat show. Bob the drag queen had a hilarious moment during a stand-up show when the woman heckled him. Bob invited her on stage and then roasted her like a pro. You should watch this.
Next, Bob the Drag Queen, Season 8 winner of RuPaul's Drag Race, had a hilarious moment during a stand-up show when a woman named Taylor heckled him. Bob invited Taylor on stage and effortlessly outshone her knowledge of fashion. Taylor, nervously revealing her American Eagle outfit, was playfully roasted by Bob, who quipped about her shoes looking like they were from Gladiator and her makeup outshining her hair. Bob humorously praised Taylor's bravery for wearing an Amazon skirt while standing next to Bob's custom-made ensemble. The audience loved the banter. Watch this.
What's your name, baby?
Hello, Queen. My name is Taylor.
Taylor. Hey, Taylor. And what's your question?
I saw you in January and you looked fierce.
Not January 6th. Not January 6th. Not. You need to be more specific, Taylor, when you speak. Taylor said, I saw you in January. I saw you in January, bitch. And I looked.
There's a point to this.
Okay, here we go.
Do you have an excuse for your pants this evening?
What's wrong with my pants? Well, the only way to solve this is we have to look at your outfit. Come on down, Taylor. You better be dressed to the nines. No, come on down here. Come on down. I can't wait to see this fucking disaster. There we go. Okay, now where'd you get this from?
Okay, this is from American Eagle on sale.
We can tell. Continue.
I'm so nervous.
Did you borrow these shoes from Russell Crowe from the set of Gladiator?
I did! Oh, because I planned to be at the fight between Elon Musk and what's his face?
Got it. I do love your makeup. Did you run out of time before you did your hair, or did you just I'm just asking, because your makeup does look quite stunning.
That's really funny you ask. I had the nice lady who does my nails do my hair today real quick for my birthday.
Some people can't do two things, you know? I think she does nails. I think her thing is nails. I don't think she's a multi-hyphenate, as the kids say. What's your, what birthday are you celebrating?
Well, it's, like number?
Oh. You want me to guess? Are you younger than me? Don't be weird.
Just a couple years.
You
look younger than I do, though.
I'm only wearing 45 pounds of makeup. And you two could look young with 2 hours of makeup in a custom suit. Now, in this is I love this Grecian. Is this House of Bezos? This skirt? It is. Who'd you come with?
Wait, I did get this on Amazon. Oh my god!
Listen. Imagine coming to a show wearing a skirt from Amazon. Imagine sitting in the shadows in a dress from Amazon that showed up at your house in a plastic bag. And then looking at a stunning queen in a custom gold suit. You're brave. You're very brave. I appreciate it. Who'd you come with tonight?
Oh, my friends back there. They came to celebrate my birthday.
Oh, they've left you. They were like,
Don't you ever heckle Bob the drag queen dressed like that.
The library was open and Taylor was red.
Listen, you don't go to a Bob the drag queen show and talk shit and Oh, damn it. I already messed up my no swearing for 2025.
Bingo.
Oh, my Lord. It's only day
1
two.
point, Glenn.
Oh, okay. I'll go back to it. Anyway, I love Bob the Drag Queen. She could do no wrong and great comedian. What do you think, Bonnie?
I would say you don't go to her show and talk shit. You sit at a panel on camera and talk shit. Bob, that crotch was a little low, girl. I know you a top, but I don't think your dick that big. Dick be a little bit tight. And you got money to fix it. I don't. This shit was thrift store from Fashion Nova. So I have an excuse. You could afford to fix that drop crotch, but you handled that like a pro.
Yeah.
You told the jokes. You made it funny. You didn't make her feel bad. But you taught her a lesson, and that's exactly how you should do it as a comedic entertainer. Bob, you did amazing.
Bravo.
Yes.
And she was ready for it.
And
I mean,
you gotta be ready.
she stood there and she didn't freak out. So I give her credit for taking the abuse that she started it.
Professional.
Like,
we are bringing you a special presentation of the 24 biggest stories of the year. We call it the Top 24 of 2024, and there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Now, let's deep dive into this big LGBTQ story of 2024. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up the top stories of the year. This is number 1 of 2024. Christian hate preachers were denied service at Milwaukee subway during RNC. We're finally here. As we start 2025, we look back to the 24 biggest LGBTQ plus stories of 2024. And this was one of the most watched of the year. This story was broadcast on July 23rd on Queer News Tonight. At the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, 4 Christian preachers wearing offensive t-shirts were denied service at a Subway restaurant. The employee explained that it was due to the inflammatory messages. While far-right groups condemned the move, many locals supported the employee, favoring love over the provocative display. Let's have a look.
Next, let's queer up the USA view. Christian hate preachers were denied service at a Milwaukee subway during the RNC. At the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, a group of Christian hate preachers faced an unexpected snub at a local Subway restaurant. The 4 white men donning t-shirts emblazoned with inflammatory messages such as abortion is murder and homosex is sin were denied service by a Subway employee. In a video shared on Facebook, the group is seen confronting the staff member, with one of the preachers saying, "She's refusing to serve us." The employee confirms this, saying the decision is based on the messages written on the preacher's shirt. The incident has sparked outrage from far-right commentators, with the Daily Mail accusing Subway of religious discrimination. The tabloid report implied that the men had the right to display their contentious views without facing backlash, though it notably blurred off the offensive anti-LGBTQ message written on one of the shirts. The group is led by notorious street preacher David Grisham, who has previously caused controversies with his disruptive stunts. Despite the controversy, many locals were in support of the employee's decision and showed disdain for the provocative messaging on display. One local resident remarked that she would rather have some radical love exhibited in Christ's name around here than have a traveling roadshow on their shirts.
She just said she's refusing to serve us.
What are you talking about?
This girl here just said she's refusing to serve us.
So we have to go somewhere else?
I want her to say it again.
I'm
refusing your service.
Okay. And this is Subway where?
Why are you refusing service?
That is a personal matter.
Because of my t-shirt? Because of my t-shirt?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure Subway Corporal would love to hear that.
What does the shirt say? It's a very vital part of this. You say you were kicked out and not served because you were Christian. Now, when you say Christian, there are a lot of people who like to exploit religion for hate. Anyway, if you're anything like the commenters of that original video, you're asking the same question everyone's asking: what do the shirts say? I found their shirts. Is this you guys? Is this why they didn't serve you? Were these the shirts in question? These guys had just come from the RNC. And you know, they're probably against cancel culture or filming people and putting them online. But you know, when it works in their favor.
Listen, kudos to the Subway employee. Okay, I'm very well aware that you don't own the Subway branch, right? And you put your own job in jeopardy because of your morals, because of what you stand for, right? And I appreciate that for that aspect. These mofos saying, "Oh, you won't serve Christians." What Christian would say? How can you walk around saying you're a Christian, a God-loving man or woman, and you're walking around with shirts that say this horrible thing? Repent. Homosex is sin. Burn in hell. Planned Parenthood murders children and rapes their mothers. That's what the shirts were saying, folks. I wouldn't have served them either.
I love this story, and it reminds me that I'm going to have to stop by the Subway on Sunrise Boulevard for a veggie sub tonight.
You was gonna do that anyway. I love when the persecutors want to be persecuted so bad. They are so desperate. They relish the opportunity to film an instance where they are being denied something because of what they're wearing, because of who they are, even though you can choose your religion. So this is another instance of that. They want to be persecuted so bad to show it off, to be like, see, they're attacking us. We're not attacking them. We're just protecting the way of life. You ain't protecting shit. And you know damn well they wasn't going to touch none of them greeneries or vegetables in that Subway. Them cookies was not going to be safe. That girl stayed them cookies.
And ham.
And ham.
And ham.
And ham.
Glenn.
Yeah. Just going under the umbrella of being a Christian, like that's part of it. Like it was the T-shirt that caused this, and then they turned it into a Christian issue. You know, we talked at other times. I'm not a religious lover or freak. I mean, I think there's so many things about religion that's questionable, but you can't put an entire group, just like you can't say all gays are the same, all LGBTQ are the same. You can't say all Christians are the same. And they were using that as their umbrella to say, you don't want to serve a Christian. No, I don't want to serve someone who's a racist pig that put a T-shirt out that's offensive to everybody around them, including some of their own folks would be offended by that.
Yeah, well, as someone who has owned a restaurant, how would you feel if someone came in dressed like that? Like, what would you do? I mean,
it's the same kind of thing. If you're insulting the whole group, you know, you don't serve them. I mean, if somebody's that in your face,
and you have the right to do that.
You have the right
As an
to not serve. Yes, you do have a right. I don't have it anymore, but I used to have a right. Right to service.
Wow.
But yeah, that was last year.
That was so last year. We're in 2025.
It is. I'm going to let it go.
I mean,
I'm just going to let it go.
Let it go. God. Bona closed, ladies and gentlemen, so many weeks ago that we are not even talking about it.
And they're expected to open tomorrow as Dom Caruso's Cantina, which I'm sure is going to be lovely, and I'm going to go in and try it out.
Oh, yummy Mexican?
No, it's Italian.
Oh.
That's right across from the new Italian where Tie Me Up was.
Wow, we'll have more to say about that in coming shows. So, folks, we are bringing you a special presentation of the 24 biggest stories of the year. We call it the Top 24 of 24. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ plus stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. We are looking back at the top LGBTQ news stories of the year from Queer News Tonight. These anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ and allied community, and we want to tell the stories of our queer community.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, then we must thrive and we must tell our stories, bringing them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. This is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your lead anchor, FayWhat, and on behalf of these LGBTQ reporters, the incredible anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Gregg Shapiro, Bonnie Builder, and Glen Weinzimer, we say Happy New Year, and we will see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ world, we wish you love, generosity, bravery while being transformative and queer. Good night.